when is it the right time to switch to the next generation? Or when should I finally replace my old RT with the newest one? This is the question, or these are the questions that many of you face at some point. And let me help you with them, because in case of the RT, it's not that super simple. It is to some point, and then it's not anymore. I know you guys are just looking for a reason to justify an upgrade to the newest, because I do that myself with many things. But if you want an honest view, you're going to get it right now. Also, let me know in the comments which RT you currently ride, or from what bike you are considering to switch to RT. Let's start from the first modern RT, and first there was BMW R1250RT, shown in 1995 with 1085 cubic centimeters of displacement and 90 horsepower, ABS brakes, and BMW's famous telelever front and paralever rear suspension with a drive shaft. It already had an electric windscreen and radio with speakers. Then it was replaced in 2002 by much better looking R1150RT with more displacement at 1130 and more power at 95 horsepower. Then in 2005 the modern looking R1250RT appeared, which was a big improvement in terms of technology and added, for example, traction control, electronically adjustable suspension named ESA, 3 letters, cruise control and tire pressure control system. The engine was bigger with its 1170 cubic centimeters at that time and 110 horsepower. Also, everything on the bike would work in an easier and more smooth way. That was really noticeable, and it was an upgrade over 1150RT, as the bike was just, it was just simply more pleasant to ride and to handle. It felt quicker, lighter and more friendly, and it was, in fact, all that. It was 20 kilograms lighter than R1150RT at 259 kilograms weight versus 279 kilograms weight of the 1150. All good. Then in 2014 BMW redesigned it and made it look cool and very modern. The previous one looked just modern. This new one was both cool and modern, in my opinion. And this is where things started getting complicated. There were major changes to the engine and its cooling system, and it got more powerful with 125 horsepower now in 2014. There was also an option of keyless access introduced at some point, which is fantastic in my opinion, and it could be a really great selling point. And also a quick shifter, which is cool, but I wouldn't buy a new bike just to get it, by the way. A new option of hill start assist was there too, so that starting off uphill would be easier, as the bike would hold its brake for a few seconds, preventing from rolling backwards, and it's a heavy bike, so that's nice. So here I would say it was mostly design and equipment changes. 1150 and 1200 RTs were different in terms of handling, and performance was also very different. You could simply feel it immediately. Then between the two R200 RTs, between those generations, I wouldn't necessarily say that it was the fact there. And that's why things get more complicated. The really only two big things would be design change and keyless access to me. Keyless access being a huge step forward and comfort enhancement. Later it had cornering ABS added, and I love the idea, I genuinely love it. I'm just not sure how big of an improvement it is and how many more dangerous situations it prevents every day to RT riders. I'm thinking about it in regard to the question of when is it worth to switch to the next or newer generation. That's a big question. And there's one more thing. The RT just got fatter in 2014 and put on 15 kilograms back, and now in 2014 and on it is 274 kilograms weight, so with fuel. So close to the 2002 R1150RT from over 10 years before. Now wait for this one, it's also lower. The seat is lower, and this is one of the reasons why I felt less comfortably very quickly just after sitting on this and the newest RT, comparing to the 2005 R1250RT. It's because the knee angle is larger on those two newer ones. In 2005 1200RT, its seat was adjustable at either 82 centimeters, which is pretty low, and 84 centimeters. And from 2014, it's at 80.5, so 1.5 centimeters lower than the previously lowest position, or 82.5 centimeters. And in my case, I would much rather get myself a taller seat for that reason in the two last generations. Maybe this was done having short riders in mind, who knows? So those with longer legs were actually harmed in the process. Now they will have to go and get new seats. And I actually feel that this change impacted my feeling of control on the newer RTs comparing to the 2005 one, the 1200 one. They don't seem to feel as agile and neutral as that one in terms of handling and low speed maneuvers. Maybe it's the added weight too, but I definitely don't. Let me say it again. I definitely do not see them behaving better than that one from 2005 in terms of maneuverability. So anyway, at low speeds, moving the bike, like literally starting off and just rolling. I think the 2005 was not worse than the current generation. This is not going to be a reason to swap for the newer ones, definitely. So let's now talk about the newest transformer, the 2019 and newer 2021 R1250 this time. RT, with shift cam technology added to its engine and new front face design in 2021. Yes, there is more displacement than ever before. It's got 1,254 cubic centimeters, more power at 136 horsepower, and a lot more torque, now up from 125 newton meters before, all the way to 143 newton meters, which sounds insane, as on paper it's a pretty big upgrade. There are also a few new things in this bike, like LED front light, a huge 10.25 inches TFT screen that can show you the navigation map. You can actually have the screen split into two. On one part you can have a map, and on another part you can have the rest of your regular gauges. Then there is adaptive cruise control with a front radar that lets you automatically keep their distance when riding behind another vehicle and activating this function. Then the bike will slow down on its own and then speed up once again once that vehicle in front of you speeds up to the speed that you said before, which is very nice. And all these additional upgrades added 5 kilograms of additional weight. And now the bike is back at 279 kilograms weight, just like the 2002 1150RT. So is this a step forward or backward? Damn it! The brakes are working just as well as those 20 years ago in the 1150RT. They are still brilliant, and the stopping power it shoots your eyeballs at the helmet's visor. That's how powerful they were and still are. You can use one finger on this newest RT. That's actually how I experimented and worked for me. I didn't have to even put two fingers to stop confidently. With this kind of bike where performance is not that super important, and it's not meant to be a bike to play with and have crazy kind of fun with, unlike a GS, I don't think that engine enhancements from 2005 are that big of a deal, and that it may be worth to do a trade-in of a 2005 model. From 2005 to 2019 model and now 2021, there is a 24% increase in power and 24% as well increase in maximum torque. And that's bloody much. The weight gain is around 8% on the other hand, and well, I'm telling you, riding solo, I really didn't notice it that much, except for the fact that when accelerating suddenly, it seems to get punchy earlier, and I believe that it's that additional torque and also the shift cam system on the newest one. I love performance, but I would struggle with the thought of selling a 2005 RT to get a 2019 or 2021 just because of the engine. In a GS, I would say definitely yes, and that would be a reason for me to get the new one. Yeah, right now. It would be a reason, it could be. From 2005, even 2010, 11, I would definitely go for the R1250 GS, especially that there was a huge design change. This is because of that bike being ridden differently and the whole purpose of it being different. Now, between 2014 R1200RT and the newest R1250RT, forget about crazy performance differences. They just will not be there. If you care for a larger screen, LED cornering light, or adaptive cruise control, which by the way, I don't think we should care that much about, but if you do, then yes, consider replacing the 2014 with the 2021 and later as we go. And to sum up, if you are still with R1150RT at any time, I believe it's worth to replace it with as new RT as possible. If you want to stay with the RT model, just go for the 2021 and newer models because of the cool screen and LED front light. If you ride at nights and if you just like the look, I do, and I think it's nice. But going for the 2005 R1200RT from the 1150RT will already be a huge improvement and the biggest one between the models in my opinion. There is traction control there and everything just feels much better. If you're on the 2005 one, I would say go for the newer one if you care for keyless access and slightly better performance. I'm talking 2005 and going for the 2014 model. Just don't get that excited if you're taller or just get a higher seat. Remember, you will also have to handle a little bit more weight or the crazy width, which for the first time was actually getting in my way, and so now it's even too wide, this bike, as for my taste. If you're on a 2014 R1200RT with keyless access, my gut tells me that there isn't that much that you're missing right now, and it may be not worth all the effort and additional money to replace it at all at this point. If you do, yeah, sure, make it 2021 or newer, not anywhere in the middle because of the big screen and the LED front light that appeared in 2021 and not before. This is my own view on the matter after dealing with all these RT bikes, and if you found it useful, then I'm happy to calm you down so that you can stick with your RT without many regrets. Just if you're still on the 20-year-old 1150, yeah, consider getting a newer one. It's worth getting traction control. It really can save many people's butts, including mine also. So now if you still want the newest and the baddest, the 2021 should be your choice, no questions about it. It is not perfect, it could be, but it's definitely good. I've made a full review of this bike, so check the link to it in the description below. So let me know in the comments which RT is your favorite or which one you currently ride. I do believe that BMW, along with Ducati, built simply the best motorcycles nowadays. And no, they don't pay me for saying that. If you're interested in more of such reviews, go ahead and subscribe for an upcoming video. And see you there.